Hello everyone, my name is Zach, and today I'm going to be demonstrating and teaching you how to throw multiple different pitches with a baseball, including a two-seam fastball, a four-seam fastball, a sinker, a circle changeup, a slide moving curveball, a 12-6 curveball, and a knuckleball. Now to begin, you want to get a baseball and a glove. These are two things you will absolutely need for this to work. So, some terminology you might need to know for this. These little rope things along the baseball are called the seams. This is where you will grip the ball. Everything else is just part of the leather of the baseball. So if you hear me refer to as the leather, that's what I'm talking about. And this is the glove, which is important for your mechanics. To begin with the grip of a two-seam fastball, you want to have your fingers close together like this, inside the seams, going up the middle and away from the horseshoe. So when you grip the fastball, you raise your left glove up like this, raise your right arm back like this. Your wrist should be pointing away from where you're trying to throw. And when you throw, you bring it in like this and snap it down so it curves and slides away. So when throwing, it's like this. Next, I'll show you how to throw a four-seam fastball. You want to grip across the seams, so across the horseshoe, which is here. You want to grip it up across. This fastball is meant for speed and it rises, and you throw it the same way as a two-seam fastball. So you want to raise your glove up like this again, and the importance of this is so that when you're driving forward, it brings your accuracy forward. So you want to raise your glove up, raise your right arm up like this, point it away from you, bring it down through, and then follow through with it. Next, we're going to go with a sinker, and it's almost identical to a two-seam fastball, except for you reach your fingers out outside of the seams instead of inside of the seams. And what that does is it has speed like a two-seam fastball, but it drops down slightly, so it might confuse the batter and make him miss. So now that you have the grip outside of the seams, you want to make sure that your fingers are spread far enough apart that when you flip the ball down, it'll roll out. So you're going to take it the same as everything else. You don't change your arm speed. You raise your left arm up like this. Bring your right arm back. Bring it through and then snap down like a curveball. You want to snap down. Now when you're throwing your sinker, it's going to look like this. And then you snap and the ball drops down. After this, I'm going to be showing you a circle changeup. And this is one of the more complex grips. You want to take your fingers like this. One of the signs that you might have seen people trying to do for memes. So you take your finger in a circle. You get your two other fingers, your middle finger and your ring finger, on the seams like a two-seam fastball grip. You want to have it so the first knuckle of your pointer finger is touching the seam of the horseshoe. And when you bring this baseball pitch through, you want to pronate your wrist awkwardly in and twist, and that'll make the ball float in like this, and it also slows it down. So when you're throwing, you want to raise your left arm up like this, bring it through, pronate, so the ball will split down through. So when you're throwing it, it should look something along the lines of bring it through, pronating, and bring it down. And full speed, it'll look like this. After that, we're going to go to a 12-6 curveball. So there are multiple different grips for the curveball. You can grip it inside the horseshoe. You can grip it on top of the two-seam. You want to make sure you're pressing down hard on your middle finger. You want your thumb to be tucked under the baseball. And you want your pointer finger to have as minimal contact with the ball as possible. Now for a 12-6 curveball, the motion is slightly different, as when you throw, you're going to be angling in, your wrist needs to point in, you lead with your elbow and snap it down. So you lead like that. So for the 12-6, we're going to go like this. We're going to bring it in, lead, roll your wrist down, snap it down. So full speed, you raise your left arm, bring it in, and then just snap it through. And then I'm going to show you a sliding curveball. So you want the same grip as you had for your 12-6 curveball, like this, and you bring it and you do the same thing, except instead of leading with your elbow, you pull it across. So we're going to raise our left arm up, get your grip, raise it up, come down, pull it across. And finally, I'm going to show you a knuckleball. So you're going to take your 2 knuckles like this, put them on top of the horseshoe, bring it through, come through and push the ball out, and then flick your fingers forward. So we're going to push the ball out, flick our fingers, and there should be no movement. Now that you know how to, now that I've demonstrated all these pitches and you know how to do them, I hope you're able to knock it out of the park.